called four columns. Grenadier and scouting, or cazadores companies, were supplied with 6 rounds of ammunition per man. The line companies were only issued 4. Each man was given 2 extra flints for his muscle. At about 5 a.m., the order was given to advance. The 4th column of cazadores moved forward, some soldiers taking refuge behind the Charlies. Many of the men carried scaling ladders. After days of little or no sleep at all, most of the defenders were resting, as the night had been a quiet one. Once the Texans realized that they were under attack from the south, they scrambled to their feet, grabbed their weapons, and opened fire on the enemy. The 1st and 2nd columns attacked the defenders on the north. The assault was repulsed with heavy casualties, but was quickly renewed. The 3rd column attacked from the northeast. Because of the heavy opposition and little success, the 3rd column shifted its assault to join the 1st and 2nd columns outside the north wall. The combined forces called for additional support, and Santa Anna's reserves joined them for that final assault. The Mexican troops eventually secured a foothold on the dilapidated north wall. Breaking through the weakened area, they crawled over the bodies of their dead and wounded comrades and poured into the Alamo complex. It was here, at El Fortín de Terán, that Travis fell. Meanwhile, at the south wall, the 4th column was able to scale the wall and break through an area west of the low barracks. Realizing that they had lost control of the quadrangle, the defenders took refuge in many of the buildings, including the long barracks and convento. Here, heavy fighting developed, and the Mexicans turned the Texan cannons to blast down the various doors. But in doing so, they killed many of their own men in the confused and smoke-filled early morning. The long barracks was the scene of some of the most vicious hand-to-hand combat. Making good Santa Anna's promise that no one would be spared, the Mexican soldiers hunted down and killed every defender. This extended to James Bowie, whose dead body was found in his small room in the low barracks, and to the wounded, who continued to resist when the Mexican troops entered the hospital. Atop the convento, the Texan flag continued to fly, and a number of Mexican troops were killed trying to remove it. Finally, Lieutenant Jose Maria Torres charged the position, took down the defender's flag, and replaced it with his unit's colors. He was then struck down by a Texan bullet. Lieutenant Torres is one of the many Mexican heroes that died that day. One of the last areas to fall was the palisade in front of the church. Here, after close hand-to-hand fighting, Crockett and his volunteers were overwhelmed. Crockett may well have died here, although this will be forever debated among historians. With the last defenders killed, only the women, children, and slaves who had taken refuge in the sacristy were spared. Dawn rose and the black pall of smoke lifted over the battered and bloodied fortress. All resistance ceased. As word spread of the fall of the Alamo, anger and outrage grew stronger in the hearts of other Texans. Following the massacre at Goliad 3 weeks later, where hundreds of Texans were executed, Houston's army was seething with rage and ready to fight. On April the 21st, an 18-minute battle on the plains of San Jacinto assured the survival of the Republic of Texas through the complete defeat of Santa Anna and his army. The cry would echo down through the ages, "Remember the Alamo."